In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills, a peculiar phenomenon befell the unsuspecting residents. It started with whispers among the villagers, muttered fears about disappearing manhoods, and puzzled expressions on the faces of husbands and sons alike. Elderly Bartholomew, the village sage known for his remedies and wise counsel, was the first to notice the pattern. One dawn, he emerged from his humble cottage, his eyes widening as he surveyed the village square. Where once stood bustling stalls and jovial morning chatter, now stood a silent gathering of women, somber and tense. The men, usually seen tending to their crops or discussing matters of trade, were notably absent. Bartholomew hobbled towards the women, his wrinkled brow furrowing deeper with each step. "What has happened here, my dear ladies?" he asked, his voice cracking with concern. Greta, the blacksmith's wife, stepped forward, her usually robust demeanor replaced by a quiet distress. "It's the men, Bartholomew," she said, her voice trembling. "Their manhoods, they're gone." Bartholomew's eyes widened in disbelief. "Gone? But how?" Greta hesitated, then whispered, "It's Marjorie. She's done something to them." Marjorie was a widow, known for her exceptional skills in herbalism and her unwavering independence. She lived on the outskirts of the village, in a cottage surrounded by a riot of medicinal herbs and flowers. While the villagers respected her knowledge, they also harbored a mix of awe and fear for her unconventional ways. Bartholomew decided to investigate. With Greta leading the way, they ventured to Marjorie's cottage. The air was thick with the scent of herbs as they approached, and the soft rustle of leaves seemed to whisper secrets of ancient remedies. Marjorie greeted them calmly, her eyes twinkling with a knowing light. "Ah, Bartholomew, Greta. I suppose you've come to inquire about the missing manhoods." Bartholomew nodded gravely. "Indeed, Marjorie. The village is in turmoil. What have you done?" Marjorie's gaze softened. "I have not taken anything from them, dear Bartholomew. Rather, I have given them back something precious." She led them to a small garden behind her cottage, where a patch of moonlit flowers glowed softly in the dusk. "These," Marjorie explained, pointing to the delicate blooms, "are blossoms of truth and vulnerability. When brewed in the right proportions, they release the ego and pride that burden the hearts of men. They surrender their bravado and confront their fears." Bartholomew and Greta exchanged incredulous glances. "But why without their consent?" Greta demanded, her voice tinged with anger. Marjorie sighed. "Sometimes, my dear, people are so blinded by their roles and expectations that they forget who they truly are. These men needed a nudge towards humility and introspection. It was not theft, but a gentle persuasion." Understanding slowly dawned on Bartholomew's face. "So, they haven't lost their manhoods, they have simply found their vulnerability." Marjorie nodded, her eyes softening. "Indeed. Now, they will return, humbled and wiser. They will know the strength that comes from embracing their true selves, unencumbered by societal masks." As the sun set behind the hills, casting a golden glow over the village, Bartholomew and Greta returned with newfound understanding. The men gradually reappeared, their faces reflecting a mixture of confusion and enlightenment. Conversations once dominated by bravado now echoed with sincerity and empathy. And so, the village learned a valuable lesson about the complexities of masculinity and the power of vulnerability. Marjorie continued her quiet existence, tending to her herbs and offering wisdom to those who sought it. The men of the village grew into stronger, more compassionate individuals, forever changed by a woman who dared to challenge their perceptions of manhood.